Hope you are doing great wherever in the world you are. I'm Salma Jafri, and today I'm going to be joined by a very special guest and client. Before I introduce her, I want you guys to go ahead and introduce yourselves. So jump in the comments and let me know what are you hoping to gain from today's live stream. Is it how to reach 100,000 subscribers? Is it how to, just bypass the whole consistency requirement? So the topic of today's live stream is how my client reached 140,000 YouTube subscribers without necessarily being very consistent, without publishing once a week, which is the thing we hear all the time, right? So as we get started, let me know if you can hear me and see me. If the audio is coming in loud and clear, if the video is coming in, just give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat, and let me know what your questions are going to be also for our guest today. So let me just make sure everything is going well. All right. Hi, Lawrence. I see you loud and clear. Awesome. Okay. So I want to put a question to you guys today. Okay, we're going to go for about 30 minutes, maybe 45 if you ask some juicy questions. And we want to make sure that you get the most value from today. So keep your questions on point. Sonal has a lot of insights and she has been doing amazing on her YouTube channel. Okay, Jose is saying sounds and looks amazing. Yes, loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for that vote of confidence. So let me introduce Sonal Bal, who's going to be joining us in just a minute. So Sonal has been working with me on her YouTube channel, but she has a major presence on LinkedIn as well. She is a career strategist, a podcaster, and founder of Supercharge, which is a career advisory firm with clients in Europe, Middle East, Africa, North America, Asia. Has she missed any continent? I think maybe Antarctica. She is also a former HR director, and she is based out of Belgium, where she is joining us from today. So let's give a huge welcome to Sonal. Let me bring her on. Hi, Sonal.
Hi, Salma. Happy to be here.
Yes, how are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. I'm so excited to share all of these learnings. And if one person can walk away with something actionable and in their own way change their game, mission accomplished.
All right. Well, we've got about 23, 24 people joining in. So hopefully, one person is definitely going to be walking away from some golden nuggets from you. So let's get this show on the road. And let's start off with the biggest thing that I want to start off with, which is right now, how are you doing on YouTube? Let's start with the current and then we'll go back a little bit in time.
How am I doing on YouTube? Two words: bare minimum. Can you go bare that barer than bare? Bare. Okay, I'll be clear. So
Yeah.
just a quick, Salma, if I can just give a quick backstory on how I started on YouTube, because I think this would help the context. Because when we look at someone, we look at 100K and like they're lucky this happened and that's why it's working. I'm not lucky. I worked hard, but not that hard. And I'm going to share all of that. So back in 2018, I'd left corporate and I was looking to do what can I do next? And one of the things that I looked at a lot was YouTube for whatever projects I was doing in the house. Because I was like, I'm between jobs. Let me make the most of my time, whether it's gardening or cooking, you name it. You're the last. I mean, I'm the last person who should be looking at gardening or cooking, where I was, and I was enjoying myself on YouTube. This is 2018. And then I thought, I'm between jobs right now. What if I could start a channel? How can I be audacious enough to dream that the knowledge I have can help someone? Because having had about 20 years of international corporate experience in human resources, there are things I know that people don't. Let me see
Mm,
how it goes. So I produced two videos in 2018. Before I produced them, when I say produced, I literally took my iPhone and I shot the video from scratch. And I looked on YouTube, obviously, how to start a channel on YouTube. You look on YouTube, how meta can we be? And there were lots of these names of usual names that people see. Mostly tend to be in the US. Mostly tend
yes.
to be men, and mostly they tend to be white. I'm just gonna call it. And then you were
Calling it what
in
it
my
is.
search. You were in my search, and I was like, "Oh, there's a woman who looks like me, and she has an opinion. She has something to say. I'm gonna follow her." So just to let you know, I've been following your journey since then.
Thank you.
And then I produced two videos. I was so nervous. I was behind the camera and it was me talking, and there was a slideshow happening. I was very confident and I was like, oh, this is going to go great as long as I don't have to see the camera.
Yeah.
And they did all right. Lots of family and friends subscribed, and that was it. And I got discouraged. Just two videos, September to December, two videos. That's all I did behind the scenes. It took me ages to edit, and then I said 2019, I'm coming. And I still remember when I did more searches, YouTube said there were so many blogs. Is it too 2018, Salma? Is it too late to start a YouTube channel? Is your niche already saturated? Like you already, I was seeing all these discouraging messages everywhere.
Absolutely. And it's always from the people who are about to give up.
Yeah, 100%. So then I did more videos in 2019. There was no planning, there was no strategy. I was like, I think this topic is relevant. I would make a topic on this. Oh,
Yeah.
how do you answer, tell me about yourself in interviews? I think it's relevant. I'm going to make a. So I did about five, six videos from
Yeah.
the January to June 2019. I wasn't getting the traction. And here I am. I'm so vain, right? And in 6 months, I just gave up and I was like, what is the point? Because what I did was I took some of those videos and I promoted them on LinkedIn.
Mm.
And there I started getting leads.
Mm.
So my brain told me YouTube is a waste of time. Go to LinkedIn. And I went like a crying baby to LinkedIn because that's where my audience was. So, one quick lesson is always have another platform because LinkedIn really did help me. However, this is not where the story is, right? So it's like, so I had one particular video in March 2019 when I was, oh, I'm going to do this. And I had that phase. And that was on salary negotiation. And
Mm.
nothing happened with it, of course. Then something weird happened in January 2021, 2 years later.
I remember talking to you about this. So, just to give you guys some context, we connected. I'm not sure. I think it might have been on Messenger or some kind of chat platform.
Instagram.
And
Instagram.
Instagram, right? There you go. So, Instagram DM. And I remember that you sent me a screenshot and it was like, somehow, what is happening? Like, I made this video like a really long time ago. And by the way, you are not the only person to ever send me screenshots like this. This is a story and your backstory where you made a few videos and then you're like, nothing's happening. And then you kind of self sabotage, you give up, you stop, you wonder if it's working or not. That was exactly my story as well. I gave up for 6 months the first time I started. 3 months or 3 months or 6 months, I keep getting confused what the time frame was, but it was definitely, a lot of stops and starts along the way. And that's what I'm hearing with you as well. And that is what I hear with so many people, that they start and then they're like, I don't know, this is working. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if it's, getting me the kind of authority that I need. And then they stop. And then after two years, was it? You looked at your stats and what
After
happened?
2 years. So there was a hockey stick, which in every sense of the word, it was like this. And then around Christmas 2020 and Jan 2021, it goes like, and
Yeah.
I'm talking 1,000 subscribers a day. I
A
was like,
day.
what the F is going on?
Yeah.
I wish another thing in hindsight, I wish I had worked with you sooner, Salma, because I would have
Aw.
firstly not given up. I think everyone needs a coach. Coaches need coaches. I have a coach currently,
Yeah.
considering I'm a career coach. Nobody knows everything. So it's really important to put your vanity to the side and like, I'm not sure it's worth it. And, invest in yourself, man. Don't make the stupid mistakes I've made because I'm going to talk about even more mistakes. I'm an open book. And I think that we
Yeah.
learn more from mistakes than we do from successes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about. So your first mistake was that you gave up on YouTube. You went back to LinkedIn, and now would you say that you work on both those platforms together? Which one gets you what benefit?
So funny, very
Yep.
funny story that you think that career people in transition, LinkedIn is where they're hanging out, and
Right.
that's where
That's
the
what you
leads are
think.
coming. That's what I thought. Remember, I told you back then, and I
I
stopped
remember.
because so in the beginning, yes, it did, but after that sort of virality happened,
Mm. Mm.
when I started like getting inquiries from people, I always ask, "Where'd you find me?"
Yeah.
It was a video. It was a video, and I have to say, we're sitting in August
That makes me feel so
2023.
good. Yeah. Okay.
March 2019. And when I say March 2019, I'm talking about home produced. If I can curse, can I curse?
No,
Okay. The
I don't want to get banned from the
crap,
platform.
crappiest, crappiest production value. Okay, I'm talking the intro comes in and the sound hurts your ears. I still have people till today,
Yeah.
every day, saying, "I oh my god, I think I'm gonna sue you. It was the worst sound quality. It just hurt my ear so badly." I still get those. But
Listen,
that
I don't
video,
think you're allowed to even call yourself like a video creator if you don't look back at your videos from 5 years ago and cringe. You
I'm
have to
really
have the
proud of.
cringe. Like, I need a t-shirt of this. Like, you
But
have to have the cringe.
I
Otherwise,
I don't know
have
why
you
people want to
even
hide.
put
Why,
in the 10,000 hours? It's like,
why do people want to hide? You should be so proud. You're like, dude, I've come so far. And by the way,
yeah,
it's not like my videos are perfection. I mean, I still
yeah,
mess up every now and then. But the
yeah.
point is that video resulted in views, subscribers. I don't, I, how do I say this without sounding ungrateful? That was so nice. But what ended up happening is clients who wanted to work with me, I didn't have to reach out to anyone. And I'm not saying
Mm,
clients who want to buy a course, which is 200 bucks. I'm talking about clients who wanted to work with you for 5-figure programs, and
mm,
those are difficult and far between, especially when the economy is hard. People want to think before they spend 11,000 or 15,000 on themselves. And you're like, yeah, but I if her if her free stuff is
mm.
so good, her paid stuff must be top notch. I want to get into her ecosystem. And I was like, that was not LinkedIn, that was YouTube. And I was shocked, like, like anybody else.
Yeah.
And it continues to pay dividends till today, that video, because that video introduced people to other videos. Like, oh, there's an adjacent video on tell me about yourself, there's an adjacent video on how do you talk about your weaknesses without sabotaging yourself,
Mm.
all of that stuff. Then okay, from there, now it's sitting at what, 4.5 million views, the channel. Yeah, I
Seriously.
can do better, but
That
I
one video, 4.5 million views
no, so that one video is 2.5 million views, and overall the channel is
overall,
sitting
the
at,
whole channel.
yeah. If
Got
I
it.
had,
Got it.
I'm not spending that much time on the channel, but if I did and produce a weekly video, that channel
We're
would
getting to
be.
the consistency bit in a bit. People, hold on, hold on. This is good stuff. Okay, so let me kind of recap some of the things that have happened in Sonal's journey and what she's just talked about right now. Even though she was on LinkedIn and very prolific on LinkedIn, by the way, I might add, and she has a lot of followers on LinkedIn, but they were coming in from her YouTube channel. So YouTube is was great for search and discovery. It was great for visibility. It was great for credibility because when they saw that you have a YouTube channel, instant credibility. You're talking about, I think that video that blew up was salary negotiation, right? You're talking about how to negotiate a better salary. Obviously, you gave so much value in that video that it got how many views? 200, no,
It's sitting now at 2.5 million.
2.5 million. 2.5 million views for that one video that blew up. And that's before it blew up, it had started to have that hockey stick growth, right? That is when Sonal connected with me. She's like, what is happening? How do I leverage this? Like, what do I do? Um, all this stuff is happening on YouTube. I had given up on YouTube, but it seems that there is more to YouTube than meets the eye, and that's kind of where she really started to take her YouTube channel a lot more seriously. And that is when she started to think about packaging and titles and thumbnails and video topics and all the stuff that we talk about on this channel and on other YouTube educational channels, right? But she was smart about it and she used what was happening to her advantage. Now I want you to share, Sonal, with my viewers, how did you at that time decide, what was the process that went in your mind, like, okay, I'm going to go all in on YouTube. And then what's going to happen? What did you want from it? What did you want to give to it? And what did you want to get from it?
Okay. What I did not have was consistency. And when I worked with you, I was very high on motivation and I was like, I'm going to be more consistent with it. I was, the idea was, I worked with you on figuring out the key problem areas. We had those pillars, and it's like every time, okay, what video did really well? What can you do which is related to that video? And then what are the other problems your client is facing? What are the questions you keep getting asked again and again? Put on your Sherlock Holmes hat and look through the comment section, because that's a gold mine. And that doesn't
Mm,
have to be YouTube. If you don't, if you're not active on YouTube, there could be other social media or emails or even like offline what people are telling you. So I made videos on those, and every time I posted a video with your help, title, thumbnail, description, all of that stuff, it was always in the top, like it was the top performing video repertoire of videos. I'd had by then quite a few. When I started working with you, Salma, I'd already had 50, I reached 50K subscribers by then. And I remember celebrating with you. And I
Yep.
was like, okay, now I want to continue to give value. But I remember you also said, don't give everything away. Leave a little bit so that people want to come back and want to work with you. So I always ensured if you enjoyed this video, you would love this. Oh, and by the way, I have a newsletter. And if you want to see ways to
So
work with me,
important.
these are
I
the ways.
always stress on the CTAs, like guide people to what's next. Don't just leave them hanging there. I watched this video and like, now what? You want to take them on a journey. And sometimes just pointing that here's what you can do next is so important to keep
And
that.
with you, I remember like even like, okay, if you watch till the end, uh leave this word in the comments.
Oh yeah, that's a trick.
Hope. Leave the word hope. I'm like, I get notifications with hope. I'm like, what is it? I'm like, that video from 2021. So it's like, and then YouTube is like, oh, this video continues to do well. Let me show
Can
it.
I just pause you there for a second and let everyone in on the joke, rather actually the actual strategy? But this is part of when I teach script writing. So we do engagement triggers inside the script writing lessons, and there are different ways to engage your audience, right? And so one of them is to leave like a trigger word and have people put that trigger word in the comment section, and sometimes what happens, and this is great for building curiosity, if you put in an interesting phrase as your trigger word, like one of mine was Salma, make that video, like a whole comment section, like 1,000 comments is full of Salma, make that video. When you land on that video as a person just discovering it, it induces curiosity, like what is everyone talking about? you know and so this is a great engagement strategy, which there are others for how to get people to engage in the comments. But if this is something that you're struggling with, like you're making great videos and people are not leaving comments on your videos, you can prompt them with a trigger word or a trigger phrase. So
Yeah, and
that's
one more
something.
thing I want to add, Salma, because you said what else has been happening. So because of that video and because it introduced the world to all these videos on my channel, I got speaking engagements way more than I did when I had less of a presence on YouTube and more of a presence on, so directly from
Yeah,
LinkedIn versus directly from YouTube. And I'm also talking about like universities who want to speak with me about their PhDs and postdocs
yeah,
in Belgium. The university is in Belgium, and they found me on YouTube,
yeah.
not on LinkedIn, not through the referral network or word of mouth. Go figure.
I want to talk about this for a bit because I think as business owners, we have been trained by the YouTube gurus out there. I don't consider myself a guru by any means. I'm an experimenter. But we've been trained to look at success metrics very differently. YouTube itself gives out play buttons at 100K, right? So it's like literally kind of conditioning us to tie in subscribers with success, tie in views with success. And I get this comment a lot in my channel. Well, your views aren't that high. So, like, what is your advice even worth, right? And it bothers me a lot, not because my views aren't high, but because they're not seeing the bigger picture. It's about attracting quality views. It is really about attracting a quality audience. And yes, YouTube has the potential to make you go viral. Like your video is like 2.5 million views. My most viewed video is also like 500,000 views or something right now. So that happens to 20% of your videos, not 100% of your videos. And then what happens is those 20% of your videos, if you have the rest of the 80% of your videos doing the work, building up your reputation, building your authority, building your credibility, right? That's what success to me looks like. It's like if I'm going to make 100 videos, like 20% of them might blow up and bring in a lot of people, but those other 80% are the ones that universities are going to contact me for, speaking conference organizers are going to contact me for, and other people in authority. That's what they're really looking at. They're looking at the body of work. They're looking at authority as a whole, not one viral video. And I think talk a little bit more about what kind of opportunities came to you from
Yeah,
your YouTube channel.
yeah. Before I do that, Salma, very quickly, I wanted to say when you said do the work, One of the pieces where I think I could have done better work was believe. I always believed that my quality on my channel, the videos, the quality, the content of what I'm saying, forget the formatting and all of that, editing. I knew the quality was good. But did I know it at a deeper subconscious level? I don't think so. I knew it was good, but because I didn't see the metrics, I that's one of the reasons I gave up on it. And the lesson from there is virality for me is now not vanity, it's a data point. It is data, it's telling me
Ooh,
I'm doing something right.
I
It is
love that.
not.
I love that. Can I repeat that?
Yeah.
Virality for you
And
is not vanity, but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
data
yeah. And
points.
I'm gonna tag this person. His name is Doug Lawson. This is not
Okay.
me. This is him who said it. It's only vanity if you use it for validation. Otherwise, it is data, my friend. I'm gonna make sure I put the timestamp here, and I tell him this. And
I
the
would love to meet this Doug.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Okay,
Um,
great.
and so your question was, what is the kind of work that's come my way? So discoverability has, just being noticed for, oh, she's also done other videos, and oh, she has a point of view. Like there are things where I'm a little bit controversial on, and people like that. Like the comment section getting filled up with hate or controversy. It's good. I mean, it's like you have an opinion, so feel free to share it. And then the email list. I don't want to give this impression that I know what I'm doing and I've arrived, because I'm still figuring stuff out. So, email list, yes, lots of people on the email list now, much more than I ever imagined, but I need to clean it up to ensure that I have quality. I Quantity, virality, it's a data point for me. Um, I also took clips for the podcast because I have a podcast that I started in 2020, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Paid, when you're a business owner, you get so many requests. Can I pick your brain? Or can you come to our event, or can you do a panel discussion? It's virtual, so we don't have the budget. So I'm like, if you want free stuff, you're welcome to check out my YouTube channel. I have a huge portfolio of work, and I have playlists. But paid speaking work, that has also come thanks to YouTube, because they're like, they don't need a sample of my work. They can already see that I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I can speak, I can string two sentences together.
Yeah,
um, and I want to do more of that. What I have not done enough of yet, and I want to start, and I was chatting with you backstage, is more brand work with brands that I work. I have so many other things I want to do. I want to do a YouTube membership and monetize it in a way that
right.
feels like so comfortable for people and they're not breaking the bank. And podcast. YouTube is big on podcasting now. I have a podcast. The
Yes.
big lesson I've learned thanks to YouTube is, don't give up so quickly, man. Don't be so sensitive. So the podcast is now sitting at 2.5 years. Not got the glamorous, amazing downloads that I thought it would have. I'm sitting at what, 50,000 downloads over 100 episodes.
All
It
right,
could be
let's
better.
not count yourself out.
It could
50,000
be
is
better.
an achievement.
But yes, it is.
Let's
It is. And I,
you
I
know I'm a big
again,
believer in celebrating all the wins.
and I
So,
believe in the quality, and I know it's good quality, but the lesson I've learned is, don't give up.
yeah.
Sometimes all it takes is one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. So, this was great. Let's get to the meat of consistency. Because how do you get to 140K without grinding, publishing constantly, on a regular schedule, showing up for your audience regularly, which is supposed to build trust and which the algorithm is supposed to value? Like, that's the thought process that a lot of people have been conditioned with. But you kind of said, I'm not going to do all this nonsense. I can't because A, mental health, B, time. We're both moms. We have other stuff to do. We are running businesses. Like there is, we actually have a life. And so, what did you actually do to get out of the consistency mantra?
Yeah. If back in 2021, when I signed up to your group coaching program, if I knew 2 years later I'd be talking to you live and saying consistency, which is what I was aiming for, I ended up not getting it, I would have been a little bit cringe, I have to say. I would have been a little bit disappointed with myself. But I want to just, paint the picture very clearly. I did have that plan. I did want to be consistent. I was that person who would go to the salon and, oh, I've done a beautiful haircut and a blow dry and a color. let me go home and shoot 3 videos. I did that. Okay. So I would batch record like 3, 4 videos. Let's get our money's worth. Okay, come on, we got to do that. And I did do that. So a few things happened. Number one, I decided editing takes too long. I'm going to outsource editing. I had rotten luck, Salma. I worked with 3 editors, and everybody like either left the work halfway or disappeared. And it in the back and forth, I lost months and months. So I wish I could say that was the only reason, because that would be so easy to blame others. But it was also, just the grind of life, right? And my top priority always, of course, family goes without saying, it's for everybody. But my top priority is my paid clients, people who have literally taken
Mm,
out their credit card and decided to work with me. So they get top priority. If it means they are more important than a video which is free on YouTube, there is no contest. So
mm,
that is, and the third thing I want to say, just to sort of make sure that the stage is set, I I had a weird spiritual moment in January 2020. I decided, okay, YouTube was scary. What am I going to do? I posted a video on LinkedIn. I also put it on YouTube, and then I forgot about it. It was a 2 minute video saying, it's a new year. Obviously, 2 years, 2 months before COVID, nobody knew what was going to happen. And I said, it's a new year. What are you going to do this year? What are you going to do that's different? It was a motivational video. And little did I know, I was actually motivating myself rather than motivating others. And the thing that I said in that video is just help one person a day. That's all you do. One person a day. And then you end the day and think, I did something good. 2 weeks later, I posted that video on 1st of January 2020. It's there. It's there. I think on YouTube I posted it a few days later, but on LinkedIn it's still sitting there. Um, and I had in the meantime applied, because you had to apply to be a live streaming person on LinkedIn. It was by application only. I had applied twice and I had got rejected. And within 2 weeks of posting that video, I don't know what happened. I got accepted, which is back then it was kind of a big deal.
mm.
So I have been live every Friday without missing a single week. I COVID, I broke my foot, Diwali, Christmas, New Year, my son's birthday, whatever. So I do have to say, when it came to that, I didn't miss it. I was consistent. However, the work it takes to be live and just show up.
Mm,
Hey, can
mm.
I help? What are you struggling with? The work is minimal. You have to wash your face, you look presentable. So that's it. And I would bring in a guest. The work again was minimal. I would put a point of 3, 4 questions, and people would be like, oh, you're doing all this. It must be so hard. Like, actually, it's not hard. And I enjoy it. So that should also be a sign when you enjoy something. So for me, consistency has been like my motivation has been always, let me help people who are struggling, but they can't afford to work with a coach. That is it. And I never ever thought about what am I getting. I still don't. I'm still live
Right,
every Friday, 2 p.m. Central European time, by the way,
right.
on YouTube and LinkedIn, but
So
I
you've
don't.
kind of built the life thing as your minimal effort zone, right?
It
It's
is.
like you have a system, you have a either you're live alone or you have a guest. And then because there's so many questions to answer, you can just pick a question and just go live and answer that question, and
Yeah.
it really doesn't need to be harder than that.
It doesn't need to be
It
harder. My
really
my
doesn't.
opportunity cost for that anyway, it's a Friday. I tend to work
Right,
less on Fridays.
right,
And it's also, I haven't intentionally thought about it, but it is also
right.
the top of the funnel, because people who are like, I want to work with her, but she works in this way. She must be a good coach because this is how she is. And, so it gives the feeling of what you are like in real life. But that has never been the forefront. Like, I still have relatives and friends who are like, why are you
Yeah,
still doing this? What is the ROI? What
yeah.
is the ROI? I continue to get that. And I'm like, when it comes to these things, you have to play the long game. I mean, 2019, and I'm still making money on a crappy recorded video from March 2019. I'm still making money 4.5 years later. So you have to think long game.
Okay, I just want to add over here, guys, that if you have questions for Sonal, consistency, production value, live streaming, topics, format, strategy, anything like that, uh, we can take your questions right now. So just put them in the comments, whatever your challenge is, whatever you're struggling with right now, whatever is holding you back, whatever you think is the obstacle for you, or you want to just get clarity on, put those questions down in the comments. We will start taking questions in just I think a minute or two. But what I want to come back to, Sonal, with you is that what would you say to other people who are like, okay, making a video takes a lot of time. There's this whole process of scripting and production and editing and distribution and all of that versus a live stream. Would you recommend doing more live streams to kind of stay top of mind, or would you say, oh, create more shorts or do something else to stay top of mind? And then also let's talk about taking healthy breaks. I saw on your channel that you didn't publish any long form videos for a while. I took a break from my channel. I think it was about 3.5 months. Honestly, everything's still going. No major catastrophes have happened as a result, and I really valued it, by the way. So talk a little bit about how to take healthy breaks and what can you substitute long form videos with, just to stay top of mind.
Okay, so the first part of the question was, what do you recommend that people do? Should they start with long form content, or should they start with YouTube Shorts? I think this is one of the things I learned when I was learning how to start a YouTube channel, and every single person said it, and I value this advice till today. Um, you will never be 100% ready for the thing you want to do. Just start with what you have in terms of knowledge, but also physically the possessions. I still, after 140,000 subscribers, I still don't have a camera. I'm still using my phone. It's decent. It's not the best quality, but it's only now. I started my first video in 2018. So what is it, 5 years? It's only now that I'm thinking maybe I'll get a GoPro or something so that the phone doesn't keep with notifications and all of that, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Um, Start with that, and the word I'm going to use, Salma, whether you want to do YouTube shorts or live or long form, the word I'm going to use, which I love, absolutely one of my favorite words on the planet, is bingeability.
Hmm.
Make content that's bingeable. So when people come
Hmm.
into my ecosystem and say, I just found your channel, and I'm grateful. I'm not trying to sound arrogant. I'm grateful when I see comments like, I just found your channel and I have been binge watching because I have an interview tomorrow.
It's like,
I'm like, dude, you are ready. Bring it on, because I know my content will help you. And I'm not
yeah,
trying to sell them anything. They are the ones
yeah.
who come to me. So that bingeability, YouTube shorts, too short, man. It's in here, gone out. The next live streams is great, but it's like, okay, I'm live. Hi, Sam. Hi, Marsha. Hi, the Silverfin. How are you doing? So those distracting pattern interrupts thing, I personally do not. I don't know who watches live streams on replay, like binge watching that, because there is an interactive element which I personally I don't know about other people, but I personally find annoying. Like, I'm listening to someone and suddenly she's like, "Hi, Catherine. Hi, Sheila. Hi." So, and I'm like, "No, oh, no, no, kill me now." So the long form, the long form videos, and someone also said this: do your hair, whatever you are, whatever makes you
Yeah,
happy,
yeah,
do that and just batch record. Some people batch record like 5, 10 videos a day. I do 3 long form videos, and I need to lie down. Like, I need
yeah.
to take a nap.
And you're an extrovert.
I
Imagine what
am
it's
an
like for me. I'm
extrovert
an
and it
introvert.
gives me energy. But after that, my kids want to eat something. I'm like, I'm dead to you right now. Like, I need to
Oh,
rest, right?
okay.
So that is worth it
There
for me.
there's some I think clarifications that we need to do, because people are asking, like, Katrina's asking, I still haven't gotten the grip on what she did without being consistent on YouTube and still making her channel grow. So can you sum it up in one
Yeah,
sentence?
yeah, yeah.
What helped your channel grow?
So the thing is, Katrina,
Katrine.
the- Katrine, sorry, the live streams are consistent, but they are not helping my channel to grow. They are just bringing current subscribers to the channel. What helped in terms of the consistency is having such a solid body of work that you have in the past. I would say top 5 problems that you have solved in the form of video that come up in search, that have all the tags and have all the keywords and thumbnail and title.
Optimized. Yeah.
They are definitely optimized, and you have to trust that the Google search engine will send people your way, because your work is your work is good, and somebody told somebody. So that is what's happened for me. And I don't produce every week. I sometimes don't produce for months at a time, and I'm still getting clients from old videos.
Which brings me to Julian's question: how often does she actually publish on YouTube now?
Good question. I have just signed up with a VA, so I plan to do two videos, two long form videos a month. That is the
Two a
plan.
month.
Two a
So
month.
still not coming up to the once a week
Because
consistency that
I
is.
feel like, Salma, I give a lot of myself. I'm already live once a week, and I what I plan to do is, with the help of this VA, produce YouTube shorts from old live streams,
From the long form. Yeah.
from the long form
Yeah.
and from old live streams, and then have that, but not every week. I don't have the honestly don't have the bandwidth, and I also have a podcast which is two times a month. It used to be every week, by the way,
Yeah.
and I was killing myself, honestly.
Yeah. No, I have seen parts of this work from my channel as well. Obviously, I think it's where you are in the stage of your YouTube journey. When you are starting out, yes, you want to publish a little bit more frequently. But when you've developed a body of content, let's say you have 20 videos, 50 videos, 100 videos on your channel, then it becomes less about, just pushing out whatever could be mediocre content or not. Like, it becomes less about that and really honing in on what is driving that, what is moving that needle, right? And like I said, the 80-20 principle really comes into play. If you literally have 100 videos, you will see that 20% of those videos are bringing in all of your channel, or 95% of your channel growth, right? And then all you have to do is just, stay a little bit familiar to new people coming in, because they are going to immediately be served your best performing videos. Have you ever noticed that on YouTube, if you watch a certain YouTube creator, you watch a latest video on their channel, immediately YouTube is like, okay, well, since you watched this video on their channel, here is the most popular video that they've ever published. It will immediately serve that video up to you next. So that is how YouTube works. Evergreen is where the stability is. And I wanna ask you if you agree with that.
I do. I do. Evergreen is key. But Marsha, I also agree with you, Marsha Lynn. When I was starting out, if I had produced one video a week consistently for the first couple of years, I can tell you
Is
without
this
any
the comment you're responding to?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. And I can tell you, if I had done one video a week consistently in the beginning for the first year or two, I can tell you without hesitation, almost guaranteed that I would have been at a million subscribers by now. Like, you see my beautiful little, I'm very proud of it, that silver one. I would have definitely had that diamond, gold, whatever it is. I just didn't do it. So it's a question of prioritizing, and I don't regret it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a lot.
Okay, let's see. Creative Self Therapy is asking, I finally achieved 1,000 subscribers. So, yay, first of all, let's celebrate you. But 4,000 hours is intimidating me. I have a chronic illness, so keeping up with YouTube is hard. What advice can you give? And I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
No, I think you have to creative self therapy. I think you have to practice what you're telling others, right? And in terms of wellness and therapy, you have to take care of your health, because what are you giving otherwise to other people? People can detect when you're not coming from a full cup. I would say the easiest thing in the world for me has been live streaming.
I knew you were going to say that. That's and by the way, Marcia just added in that the requirements for monetization have now been reduced to 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours. So, creative self therapy, you don't have to go all the way there. 3,000 hours is what you need for monetization, if that is indeed your goal. And live streams are an excellent way to get there.
Live
Like,
streams are
I
excellent.
could talk to myself for an hour.
Yeah, I think that you will almost never be alone if you
Yeah,
publicize it all over the place that you're going to be live, and even if there's one person watching,
absolutely.
the only thing that you have to do is you have to shut down that voice in your head that says, "Who cares? Nobody's going to watch. What if you screw up?
Yes.
What if the tech?" If you can shut down that voice and come from a place of helpfulness, who can I help? We are living in a world, we are dying for connection. We are dying for some sort of connection with another human
I
being,
love
and
that.
not artificial intelligence. If you can come and help one person, or you can, like, I worked with this client recently, this is what I'm going to talk about this, do you have any questions, come, let's talk about it. They may not catch you, by the way, I get live views, whatever they look like, I get the same number of views on replay. because people are at work or they're home or they're with the little ones. They're not catching me live, but they are finding time to get to the replay. So if your stuff is valuable, which I'm sure it will be, if you are in Salma's orbit, she will not let you faff around for half an hour and do a vlog style thing. There has to be some value in it. Then people know that even if they watch the replay, they'll get so much value from it. It is really, I mean, we have this, we have to wash our face. The barrier to entry has never been lower.
Solo. Okay, I want to go to another question. By the way, thank you guys. Keep those questions coming. They are really, really good. Sabine is asking, when you are creating product videos for other companies, what can you charge for these videos? You once talked about these videos, Salma. Do you want to add in a little bit, Sonal, and then I take this one
I
on?
I don't have experience creating product videos
Um,
for companies.
okay, I'll take this one on. So, Sabine, when I'm creating product videos, it is really about finding out what the brand values, right? What are they actually trying to do with that product? It could be that it's a new product and they're just trying to get the word out. So, for example, when I made a product video for Logitech, it was for their new streaming service called Melon, and they wanted Melon to be positioned to very, very new small creators who didn't have a lot of resources to invest. I remember it was something like $9 or something. So they wanted to reach the audience who would just get started with live streaming without having to use some of the more expensive software out there. So when you start talking to a brand and when you start discovering what are their goals with that product video, you then align what you can create, what you can offer, and then that kind of determines how much you want to charge for it. So if it's a full-on tutorial, with features and benefits and stuff, you can obviously charge more. If it's just like a 30-second visibility teaser or a pre-roll ad which just plays in the beginning of the video, which is like, hey, check out this new tool by Logitech, it's just launched, $9 only, you can charge probably a little bit less, but you can have packages where that can be ongoing. So you could run those kind of promotions and charge on a tier based level, and always anchor your price. Like, I could do this at a lower end, I could do this at a higher end. So that helps a brand kind of see the value rather than locking yourself into one number and starting negotiations from there. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if it was, or if you have any follow up questions. Okay, Katrina is also saying, thank you, optimizing your channel. That is golden. I didn't know that the channel optimization was that important. This is when we were talking about, your previous videos being so well optimized that they still bring you all of the channel growth right now. So optimization is, I mean,
I'm living proof
everything.
of that. I'm living proof that my channel is not that great. It's not great quality, but just because it shows up and LinkedIn keeps recommending. The
Yeah.
LinkedIn algorithm, I've got to say, is probably the most advanced algorithm I've seen in my life. So an optimized channel,
An
LinkedIn,
optimized
sorry,
channel.
YouTube algorithm,
Yeah.
YouTube will love you and recommend you forever.
An optimized channel can change your life. I should do a training on just that. Okay, so what strategy is Sonal using to actually convert customers once they connect on YouTube? Wow, this is a good question.
So there are different things that work and different things that don't work. Whenever someone sends me a very long comment on that particular video, which is like, hey, I used this approach and it worked, I got a 30%, 40%, 50% increase in salary, I always reach out and saying, thank you so much. This is making me so happy. Let's connect on LinkedIn. So they'll come into LinkedIn or they will not come into LinkedIn. My idea is that if they've already got so much help from me and it was for free, would they be willing to give me a testimonial on LinkedIn? It takes 2 minutes, 2 lines, and it helps credibility, but they've got something for free. So some do it, some don't do it. But the best thing that I learned from Salma was that um, when you have the description box under every video on YouTube, please take advantage of it. Because I have seen when I have a problem and I find a creator and they're solving my problem, I'm going to check out their description box. I'm going to read the crap out of it. What else do they do? What else is free? Can I get as much value as I can from the free stuff? So there'll be a link which says, these are some freebies. And freebies, you got to believe they are so amazing that someone would pay you for it. It's that good. And then there are different ways, I don't even push that different ways to work together. And like, if they want to know how they can work with me, this is a link. and that's it. And if I'm running a live campaign like a group coaching program, by the way, a group coaching program I did earlier this year, a lot of them found me on YouTube, not on LinkedIn. So it's like, let it be easy for them to discover more about you. And that is, it's up to them. Some like to subscribe, some like to enter your email list, some want to connect on LinkedIn and chat one on one before they make a big decision, because they're investing and it's serious. So whatever, you give them the options and leave it.
Make it easy. Make it easy for people to take the next step. Like that's what I'm hearing from Sonal. And also I'll add a little bit of insight to that. Make them curious to know more about you. Like have them go straight to your bio, like who is this girl, like I want to be in her world or
Mm,
his world.
mm,
Like, not just I want to download this, but I want to be in, like, I want to know more about her. Where
mm,
else is she? What else does she
mm.
talk about? What else has she produced? Where else can I find her? Do we have friends in common? Like, get them curious, and that all comes from your personality on camera.
Yeah,
That is really you being you.
yeah,
The more you are. I feel like I'm quoting some kind of Alice in Wonderland. Be the most you can be, but it's true.
yeah.
All
Because
right.
there are a lot of carbon copies otherwise that are doing it in a certain way. And if you're goofy and if you want to have fun, and just have fun, because people relate with that.
Like
And if
it's
you
YouTube, it's not CNN.
It's
Right?
not WeTube. No, and you will repel certain people, and
And that's
honestly,
good.
that is
We
very
always
good.
talk about that. That's
Yeah.
always good. You want to know who you don't want to attract, as well as know who you want to attract. Okay, Lawrence is saying, sounds like the simple message is making YouTube work for you instead of you working for YouTube. I think that's a key difference between how you approach your channel, really.
Yeah.
Make it work for you rather than you slaving away for the algorithm. You being like, okay, what does it demand from me now? Okay, I need to give it more. I need to give it more. Instead of that, you've got to be working smarter, not harder. Okay, Chris has a question, which I'm going to put up on screen. How can I find more viewers for a new channel for hearing impaired people in Belgium? Interesting. It's
Hmm.
not about tools, but about communication. So, since you are in Belgium, Sonal, do you have
Hmm.
any location specific tips perhaps for him?
I think that the advice I would give is literally the same advice that would be given to anyone who is producing any form of content. Who are your ideal viewers, and where do they hang out? Are they hanging out online? Are they hanging out on TikTok?
Yeah,
Or are they actually hanging out offline? Because there is a little bit more uphill battle if they hang out offline. For example, it's a coincidence, I happen to be a singer in a choir, and one of the things we do every year, especially during Christmas, is we do shows where we raise money towards children's cancer research, and we do it in Flanders and in the university hospital of Ghent. um, so and one of the places we perform is for the hearing impaired and for disabled people. They are not hanging out on social media. So it's like, who are the people who are taking care of them, and how can I learn more about them and have them in my network, get them in, so they can promote my channel. Because there's very little, Chris, that exists. What you're talking about, there's very little that exists, so it's a complete greenfield, and it's a little bit uphill. But when you focus on the network, when it's offline network, it'll definitely help you. But online, it will also give you a blueprint to see what is happening online for the people who are hearing impaired. um, the person that I quoted earlier, that said that vanity is a metric, it's a data point and it's not virality. um, he happens to be hearing impaired, and he's doing great work. So
oh
there's a lot of people on
wow.
LinkedIn. There are a lot of people on LinkedIn who are talking
Yeah,
about ADHD, they're talking about neurodiversity, and they're doing really, really well. So start somewhere. You don't have to start big on a YouTube uphill, do it alone. Figure out where your people are. I think that is the biggest thing that
good point.
will
Good
help you.
point. The fact that YouTube is so big, like a billion users every day, makes discoverability easy, but also hard because then there's like so many videos for somebody to go through. But or how do you stand out with so much competition? So maybe you find like a small pocket of people first, and then when they see that you have a YouTube channel, I'm telling you, it's like instant authority.
It is. And Chris, I think one thing just to see is you have to decide if you're going to do content in English or you're going to do it in French or
Ooh.
Dutch, because that will play. If you do it in French or Dutch, you will have way less competition. English is very, very crowded. But you have to decide what you're going to do and stick to it, because people tend to do it. I know, Salma, you know this better than I do. People tend to do it on language, like they have one language, one channel, and they
Yep,
don't tend to
yep.
mix too
Yep.
much.
Katrine's here in the comments, and she and I were literally having this conversation. I think last week or this week was it? But yes, let me put another comment on here. So it's not really a question, but just a comment. I am also soon at 1,000 subscribers myself, but 3,000 hours watch time is hard, yes. But actually using live streams for this is a good idea. So I'm glad people are taking your live stream idea more seriously, because I feel it kind of gets pushed down because everyone's like, short, 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 shorts. Like, to stop listening to the noise and focus on your goal. If your goal is hours, go live for an hour. Like, adjust your strategy based on your goals. So I'm really happy, Sonal, that you said this out loud. So I think this question is for me. Marsha's asking, Salma, inside of your course, will we learn best practices for our videos to attract the attention of someone who would want us to speak? Well, I think Sonal, let's both answer this. I can go first if you like, but you're also getting speaking gigs from your YouTube channel, and you can, sort of explain how that happened. But for me, Marsha, the way that this happened was that I used my YouTube channel to talk about the things that I knew conference organizers wanted, like there were gaps in their events that nobody was talking about. So, for example, one of the first gaps that I saw was content repurposing. Nobody was talking about that in the previous conferences that I had seen on marketing, on content marketing. And I had this video. So I created this video about how to repurpose your content. This is before Gary Vaynerchuk came in with his video on micro content, which became super popular, by the way. But then I created this video on a little black dress strategy. So it was like, how can you take one little black dress and dress it up and dress it down and repurpose it for different events? And so I applied that strategy to your content. How can you dress it up, dress it down, change how it looks on different social media platforms? And that's what they picked up on. And that's how I got the attention of conference organizers. Of course, I will add to this that you have to keep abreast of when speaker submissions open. You have to make a list of, the kind of conferences you want to speak at. So there is some hard work involved in keeping your eyes peeled and just, being smart about it. But that's how I approached it. I looked for things I wanted to talk about that nobody was really talking about and pitched that, and got in. And I'll hand it over to you, Sonal. How was your experience?
Marsha Lynn, I think that the operative word for me that you've written in your question is attract the attention. Now, attract the attention of who? I'm going to go back like a broken record, and I'm going to say that if you have worked properly on optimizing your channel and also optimizing everything, your scripts, how do you start your videos? Is there a hook? What is the body? What is the conclusion? What are you telling people to do at the end of the video? That authority building is not only going to be from people who are clients who want to work with you, but you're also going to have clients who want you to come to their event. So it's really an open bag, because it is a one size fits all. When you're on YouTube, you don't have one video which is customized, it is one video. So when it comes to attracting the attention, whether it's a paid client who wants to work with you or a paid client who wants you to come and speak at their event, online or offline, when you play your cards right, it is a foregone conclusion. It will happen.
And the other thing I will add to that is that yes, inside YouTube Launchpad, I'm guessing that's what you're referring to. You will learn the best practices to. This is what the course is built on. How to attract the ideal audience. This is what I worked with Sonal and all of my coaching clients, and then I took all of the material that I live coached them on and put them as a self-study course inside the new YouTube Launchpad. If Sonal, if you don't mind, I'll talk about it for just 10 seconds, real quick. What I wanted to say was that I first launched this course in, I believe it was 2019. And then because YouTube changes so rapidly, and because my strategies were changing so rapidly, and because I was doing live coaching, I was doing group coaching calls. Sonal was one of my clients in those group coaching calls. Um, And because I was live coaching them, I was learning new ways to coach and adapting to what was happening and what was working for my clients. So I took all of those strategies, packaged them inside YouTube Launchpad. And so, will you learn best practices to attract that is literally what the course is built on. So I hope that that answers your question. Okay. Next question is by Kyle. How to plan out your bingeable content? For example, how deep do you go into the subject without giving it all away? How much planning goes into each topic or video? How to decide video length? Sonal, I'm going to let you have free reign of this one.
Ah, okay,
I
okay.
know you're going to kill it.
No, I know, but you're the expert here, Salma. I think as far as bingeable, what I'm seeing, look at I think Kyle, look at your own behavior when you're looking for something. Where are you going back and watching again and again? What is so comforting about that person? Every time you go back to that video, you want to get to know them again and again. So, firstly, there are lots of answers you already have in front of you. I think that how deep do you go? Um, there is a what and there is a how. So the what part you want to spend time on, because people may not even know they have the problem till you
Yep.
get into it. And so explaining that problem and giving it some words and giving it vocabulary, they're like, oh my god, it's like this person is speaking to my soul. This is exactly the thing that happened to me, and how does he go about it? So you can either give them, let's say you have 5 ways in the how, right? So the what and the how. You can either give them two parts of the how, and for the remaining parts, they can work with you. But the two parts you give are top quality. And one of the things that I have to say this, and I'm not getting any affiliate commission for saying this out loud on Salma's live stream. One of the things that I really appreciated was working with Salma. There was no fluff in there. Please do your homework
I'm
when you
definitely
work
allergic to bullshit. So,
when
yeah.
you zero fluff job search advice is now a headline on my it's my description on my LinkedIn profile. So when you decide to work with someone, please see that they don't only focus on, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that mindset is fluff, but after a certain point you need to get into implementation mode and get stuff done. So you want to work with someone who gets it. So you want to give good solid two non-fluff hows, and for the remaining they can work with you, or you can give them all the hows, but if they want speed and ease, they can work with you. There are different ways to do it.
Yeah.
Don't
I like to
worry.
say that give the information on YouTube and then the implementation is inside your paid programs.
I in the past, what I would do is I would even do a lot of implementation. I didn't know any better. I spent hours and hours
Mm,
on live streams implementing, helping live clients. But that was also my phase when I was learning it. I was discovering it. So it was one of those, you put in the
yeah.
hours type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think the other question that he had, there was another bit, ID length, right? I learned
How
this.
much planning goes into each topic
How
or
much
video, and how do
planning?
you decide video
Yeah.
length?
I literally have a notepad in front of me and I will put bullet points. I know people who write their script down. I do not do that. I am more of a winging it person, but I'm not winging it by talking complete rubbish. I have bullets that I want to cover in the intro, the main body, which is the how, and the conclusion. So I have bullets, and when I'm speaking, I can expand on them. And the length, I remember learning with you, Salma, because I was like, oh, it's too long, it's too long, 6 minutes is too long. I didn't realize the AVD, average viewer duration. If your average viewer duration is 5 minutes, holy heck, please make it 10, 15 minutes. I learned that my sweet spot was 13 minutes. And
Wow,
I
that
am a
is a
talker.
long, yeah, that is a long, that means your audience is highly engaged because I think mine is like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
like around five. That's why I make a
yeah.
lot of 10-minute videos because I'm
Yeah,
like
I learned
50% retention.
sometimes it's 15. I tend to talk a lot, but I obviously remove the repetitive part of things.
That
But
is great.
it's like people should feel like, wow, this was useful. I want to see something else and not stick to
Yeah.
the surface.
Okay, some LinkedIn questions coming in. Is it hard? It is hard to get clients. Do you suggest I change my LinkedIn profile to reflect the same on YouTube?
Dude,
Hmm.
dude, you have to appear as professional as you are in all your social media. I mean, it's like going to a restaurant and they happen to have another one 4 kilometers away, and that looks completely crappy. No, you have to be equally presentable and amazing everywhere. These are all shop, for me, these are shop windows, right? How people see you on the outside. So you look good everywhere, even if you don't
You
have
look
the,
good everywhere.
you have to, and it's working for you 24/7. When you are looking terrible in your sleep, it is working for you because it's a shop. It is
This is,
also.
by the way, from Raquel, who is a YouTube intensive client. And I know she's gone through a lot of brand changes. I still see your videos come up for me, Raquel. So I know, I know that you have, struggled with your niche a little bit, but whatever you are going in on, go in on that 100% now and reflect it on all of your social media channels so people see the consistency. They're not confused, because when they're confused, they don't take any action. A
Mhm.
confused mind does not take action
Mhm.
or buy, right? So you just want to be really clear with that. Okay, we have a language question here. If you should publish your content in your native language or English is a hot topic for me right now, please talk more about that. We both are not. We both have other languages that we speak. I know. Are you fluent in French as well, Sona?
I'm fluent in French. I'm fluent in Spanish. The
So
content,
four
the
languages.
the
I'm
comment I've received the most is, "Can
Yeah,
you make videos in Hindi?" So
yeah,
I think it's a personal decision. For me, it's a clear line that I will make videos only in English. There is only so many hours in the day. Come on,
yeah.
dude. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I think it is a personal decision. For me as well, I have also received these comments. Will you, have an Urdu channel? Urdu and Hindi, by the way, are,
Yeah.
sister
Yeah.
languages. They're spoken the same, written
Yeah.
differently. But that's not something that I can even think about doing right now. I wouldn't even know how to translate YouTube strategy into Urdu. Like, I can't even like comprehend how to say it. So it's a lot harder for me. So I think part of it has to be what your comfort zone is, and then what is the demand out there. So when you are creating videos in a language that has less distribution than English, you're going to reach a smaller market, but that market might be more engaged.
Yes.
And when you're making videos for people in English, of course you're going to have more competition, which means that you have to find other ways to stand out. So language may not be the way to stand out. So it's really, really, there's a lot of different ways to think about it. Okay, let's see if we can, if I've answered, if I've put all the questions. Okay, this one is kind of a basic question. How do you know what time to go live?
Good question.
Yeah.
I think you can check out the YouTube analytics because it tells you at what time are your viewers most active. For me, I didn't look at YouTube analytics when I started going live. It was back in 2020. What I did was three. Where are the people that you want to serve? Where do they hang out? Which country? Which time zone are they in? So I wanted to make sure I covered North America, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia. I could not do
Basically
Australia.
the entire world.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you were introducing me, Australia, right? So there's only so many. I mean, you cannot please everyone. So sorry,
Yeah.
anybody watching in Aussie land. So it was
Mm,
like
mm.
uh, two p.m. for me was my sweet spot. So it was lunchtime for me. And there are people who tell me till today I can never catch you live because I'm having lunch in the office, and that does never works for me. But
Mm.
the US is waking up. East Coast is not waking up.
Right,
They're at the office because it's 8 a.m.
right,
for them. So you have to
right.
figure that out. That's number one. Number two is it's comfortable for me because that's before I go to pick up the kids from school. So it has to make sense for
Has
you.
to, yeah, you design your YouTube presence around your life, not
Exactly.
let,
And
YouTuber any.
I didn't want to do it in a time where I have to get a babysitter or anything. I'm not going to pay for this. This is
Yeah.
free. Hello.
And trust me, people will find, they'll, if they're really interested and you're really giving value, they will watch the replay. They will watch your other stuff. Even if they can't make it live, they'll come. People, like you said, I get just as many replay viewers as I would, in fact, more than live
Yeah.
stream viewers. So
Yeah.
if the content is valuable, if your personality is relatable, it really doesn't matter if you've got everybody on at the right time.
Yeah, yeah. And very important what
You,
you said, Salma. Valuable, relatable, and you keep it tight. Like right now, if you're watching us live, you're amazing. But I know you will also be, some of you are watching on the replay. Hello, replay, hashtag replay. You're, because Salma kept it tight, right? There was no riffraff going on about like chilling and what was the latest movie she watched. It was
now we're
like,
going to
let's
take a
keep
break
time.
to have our tea. So there.
Cold tea, cold by now. But yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
One more question and then we shall wrap up. Okay. So let's take this one. It's also about if you have your courses in your native language. If you start to publish in English, your audience would expect for you to have your courses in English as well, or what?
I want to say something like something made me laugh. Selma. I got this email notification from YouTube. Hey, why don't you start a membership? And it gave examples of people who have memberships. So there was a guy in France.
Okay.
He has a membership, and he has, I think, 70,000 subscribers. And the topic of his channel, get this, all he talks about is bonsais. Bonsai
Oh, the
plants, the
plant?
miniature Japanese plants.
The
How do you take
miniature.
care,
Yeah.
miniature, and how do you take care of bonsais? And it's in French. He has crazy engagement. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is there is an audience for everything. If you want to start this in your native language, which is the same language as your courses, there are people out there who want to learn from you. If a French dude can have and he has 3-tier membership, by the way, and he's doing so well, and I'm like, there are people who want to learn how to not kill my bonsai plant.
What I'm hearing, like, the between your words is what I'm hearing is it's not necessarily this language or that language. It's mostly, is your content connecting? Is it actually good enough? Because if it is, you'll find an audience. And if that audience is too small, you'll know, because that audience would be really highly engaged, but just not very, big.
And that person chose to go in his native language. He didn't go
Yeah.
for English because there probably was more competition in English.
Probably. Right. Which is definitely a smart strategy if you have fluency in your non-English language. Okay. All right. So what I want to say at this stage is, I think what I'm learning from you, Sonal, because I'm learning a lot from watching you as well. One thing that I think my topmost thing is that your ability as a creator is directly tied in to your mental health, your ability to give energy, your ability to prioritize for what you want to do right now. And for that, you have to absolutely pace yourself. So in the beginning, when you're starting your channels and you're like, okay, I need to consistently create videos, I think at that time, because it's an exciting time, there's a lot of energy when you're starting out. So it's natural to want to put out a lot of content, and you probably need to, because what happens is YouTube needs the data. Without you putting out content, there is nothing that the algorithm can actually give you back. So initially when you're starting out, that's why I created the course on create your first or your next 10 videos. Those 10 videos are optimized, they are targeted, they attract an ideal audience, they are specific to solving problems and increasing bingeability. Like literally, that is the purpose of those 10 videos. Once you've done those 10 videos, you sit back and you look at the data coming in, because 10 videos is going to give you some solid insights, and then you plot your next move based on that, like Sonal did with her viral video. She looked at the comments and she's like, what do people need to know after watching this video? And then you create that video. And that's exactly what I've been doing with my channel as well. So that's one thing. And the second thing that I wanted to say was that there are different people looking for different types of advice and information. If you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of time right now and who wants to do something that is more like, take your own time and do something on your own, then a course with a little bit of guidance might be better for you. So I've dropped a link down in the description to my course YouTube Launchpad. It is $100 off until August 31st. So if you want to do it yourself and you want to pace yourself and do a self-study thing with support inside the Facebook group, with access to me inside the group, then that would benefit you and that would suit you. However, if you want to do something more time intensive but also faster growth, then I am taking applications for YouTube Intensive, which is my 10-week group coaching program. That is starting on September 6th, and it is by application only. And the link for that is down also in the description of this video at salmajafri.com/apply. So if you don't know whether, which area you should work with me on, then send in the application and I'll be able to guide you. But I want to say thank you to Sonal for joining us. Your insights have been mind blowing, and everything you said, I want to put on a t shirt. So you better start your merch business soon and then send them over to me. Belgium to Portugal shouldn't cost a lot, hopefully.
Done.
And then I hope you'll be on again when you make your next major breakthrough with your YouTube channel to come back and share more insights with us.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Salma, for having me, and for every person who caught us live. Wish you the best. It's a journey, and just have fun.
And on those iconic words, thank you guys. I will have more exciting content coming up for you, so stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment even if you're watching on replay. Take care. Until next time.